Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Tesla stock a little bit more in depth, and then also discussing the topic of could we be seeing a surge happening sometime soon with this specific stock as well. So with today's video topic, this is in relation to the upcoming earnings report as well, which I believe is supposed to happen on October 21st. We can actually check this out for sure, but yeah, as it says right here, October 21st in after hours. So we do have the earnings report coming up pretty soon. It's only a few weeks away. We're already like 1/3 into October already, which is pretty crazy. But as I said, we had this earnings report, and we also recently got the delivery and production numbers for Tesla. They released it in a press release, and so they did beat expectations and the general consensus on what was expected out of Tesla. I believe like 135,000 deliveries were expected out of Tesla, and they reached 139,300, I believe, almost 140,000. And then the actual production numbers were a little bit higher than that at around 145,000, I believe. So just keep in mind with that also, just because there's a little bit of difference between the delivery numbers and the production numbers. I emphasized this when this was first released, but just to reiterate this once again, that does not mean there is a demand issue. It just means that, as we know right now, with all of the news pieces we've been keeping up with, Tesla was really just trying to ramp up production, especially towards the end of the quarter. And so with their classification of what they determine as a delivery, the papers have to be signed, everything has to be taken care of for it to be actually counted as a delivery. So that's why there's a difference in production and delivery numbers. I'm assuming they just really ramped up production towards the end of quarter 3 and continuing on with quarter 4 as well. So that's why there's a huge difference, because as we know, factoring that into the website listing and then also actually getting that to the person, getting the paper signed and things like that, that takes a little bit of time. So I just want to emphasize that with the difference in the delivery and production numbers, it's mostly just due to the fact that production is being ramped up so much right now that there is a little bit of a time frame between when it's produced off of the production line and when it actually gets to someone that wants to purchase it. That takes a little bit of time, and the difference in those numbers is actually not due to a demand issue, but just the fact that there is a time frame between, getting off the production line and actually having those papers signed in which someone gets it. And so they even emphasized this themselves in their press release, in which they talked about how they're continuing to try to improve their delivery efficiency. So as we see them start to improve and learn from that whole delivery process, I think that's going to be similar and kind of comparable to what we've seen them accomplish in terms of manufacturing, in which they're now like the cutting edge of manufacturing in terms of efficiency and optimization. So they've learned a lot over their career in manufacturing and production, and that's one of the reasons that I love Tesla, because when they do struggle as a company, they always learn from it. And if you're not learning from your mistakes or not learning from the things that you can really get some advantages out of, then what's the point? So this is a good thing that I love to see out of this company. When they do have times where they come across issues, whether it's ramping up production for a specific model or building the machine that makes the machine, such as them creating the Gigafactories and making sure that they can really maximize efficiency and production at the same time. So as I stated, Tesla learns from their mistakes. They're constantly trying to focus on getting better, and as Elon Musk stated before, sometimes no part is the best part, because it can take out an unnecessary step out of the equation, making things simpler, consume less time, and also being more efficient. So that's kind of the thought process they go through with a lot of the things, whether it's designing the production lines, creating the Gigafactories, or innovating with new battery technology or vertical integration. So I just wanted to emphasize that with the delivery numbers, they did beat expectations, and I just wanted to also emphasize why there was a difference between the production and the delivery numbers. And so with that, as I've said, we do have the quarter 3 earnings report happening on October 21st. And just regarding discussion of whether we could actually be seeing this stock surge sometime soon, in terms of my perspective, as always, I just want to mention that nobody has a crystal ball here, and including myself. So anything that I say, especially when we're talking about a short-term prediction, definitely take it as a grain of salt. Don't consider what I say as like the word written in stone. Nothing that I say or have said in this video is to be considered financial advice. This is simply just me sharing my thoughts and opinions about Tesla stock in the market. But I do honestly think as we start to get a little bit closer to this earnings report date, that we can maybe see a little bit of a run-up with the stock price. And that's because, of course, there's always a lot of people trying to get in on Tesla stock when they think they can cash cash out on some short-term money or some quick gains. Now, keep in mind also there's going to be a lot of investors that are long-term investors and they're getting a hold of some more cash and they're able to buy before this date. So I think people are specifically going to try to buy Tesla stock before the upcoming earnings report. I mean, I have to admit, if I had the choice of buying right now, if I actually had cash to buy right now, I would probably buy before this earnings report. Now, keep in mind, this could be a scenario that's kind of similar to Battery Day, in which there's a lot of hype beforehand. There's a big drive up in terms of the share price, but then when it actually happens and we get the announcement and the positive news and stuff like that, at least in my prediction, I think it's going to be positive news and that they're going to beat expectations. But sometimes there can be a sell-off, even if it is a positive announcement, even if they beat expectations. This is something that we've seen with many stocks in the market, including Amazon, especially when people try to make short-term plays on earnings reports. There commonly tends to be a sell-off either a little bit before the announcement, the day of the announcement, or just a little bit after the announcement. So keep in mind, whether it's good or bad news, there could be a sell-off, and there is that possibility of losing all of that progress from the build-up prior to the earnings announcement. So keep in mind, even if we do see a little bit of a run-up, that can be taken back, just like how we've seen it be taken back from $498 all the way down to where it's at currently, around this $430 price tag. So just keep in mind, we did hit this all-time high on August 31st at $498, and so it's been around like a little over a month so far since then. So even though I think we could see a run-up, I just want to emphasize that with the market always being so unpredictable, there's always that possibility of, even if the earnings report is tremendous, it's fantastic news, even if it's everything that we were looking to hear, there could still be a sell-off and the share price could go down a little bit. But I think in terms of like between now and then, I don't know about the next week or so, but I think especially the week coming up to the earnings announcement, I think that's when we could really see some growth coming out of Tesla stock. As I said, there's always those people that want to make some short-term plays on Tesla, but then again, there's also a lot of Tesla investors that are coming across some cash between now and the 21st that would like to buy before the earnings announcement, because as I stated, I think they are going to beat expectations in this Q3 earnings report. And another thing to take note of is that revenue for Tesla doesn't just include their vehicle business. It also includes their energy business, solar panels, solar roofs. Tesla currently has the cheapest solar panels, I believe. So if you're looking for solar panels, why would you go anywhere else when you can get a quality brand and also for the cheapest price as well? Then there's also really nice gross margin revenue coming from the FSD packages that people are purchasing. So as many of you know right now, there's a lot of people that are paying $8,000 to purchase the full self-driving package, which in the future will likely be worth it because it's basically going to result in a lot of people being able to get passive income from something they would normally not get passive income from, with connecting it to the robotaxi service for Tesla. And so Tesla will likely get a nice fee from people renting out their Tesla vehicles as part of the robotaxi fleet, but that's farther on into the future. But as I stated, even right now, people are paying $8,000 for the FSD package to reserve that technology once it's completely perfected in the future. I mean, we don't know how high the actual price could be for the package once it's completely mastered. A lot of people that have it are stating that it's a really good investment because it's likely that it's going to be much more expensive in the future when people start to realize the huge benefits of having autonomy when it comes to owning a Tesla. Now, of course, a lot of people are also saying it's too expensive, which I would have to disagree with. I understand what you're paying for right now isn't exactly what is being promised for the future, but then again, that's the point. A lot of people buying right now understand they're not getting, the full capabilities of this technology, but they're also getting a discounted price because they're an early adopter, and that's where Tesla has a huge advantage as well with this upcoming quarter earnings report, because this is really notable in terms of gross margins. The profit margins on software as a service is absolutely huge in comparison to actually producing a physical product and the profit margins on those. So just keep in mind that's an advantage that Tesla has over a lot of the legacy automakers and even a lot of EV automakers right now as well. And so we have that aspect of revenue, we have the energy revenue, we have the vehicles themselves, the revenue that comes from those, and then we also have the Tesla subscription service as well, which, as I said, that is software as a service, so the profit margins on that are going to be a lot nicer than with a physical product. So there's a lot of advantages to what Tesla is capitalizing on right now, and Tesla realizes what it takes to succeed with having to get into this software as a service business. And so that's the really good thing about Tesla, because with a lot of automakers, most of the times there's just a primary focus on the physical product itself and not really how you can get revenue from other aspects of that product. And so Tesla's really fledged out all of these ideas in terms of maximizing the money that they can make from their product while also providing a lot of value for what the customer is paying. So a lot of people find find value in buying a full self-driving package early because they want to support the brand, and also because they're an early adopter of this technology. They have the first access to it, so it's worth it to a lot of people. And if I had the extra money myself and a Tesla, I would probably buy it as well. But that's just another point with this video today that I want to emphasize, is that Tesla does not only get revenue from their physical products, but they have a lot of digital content as a service and software as a service as well, in which they get revenue from, like with the reservations for the Cybertruck. Keep in mind that's like a $100 down payment, basically a free loan of $100 for anyone that wants to reserve the Cybertruck until Tesla can start producing these vehicles. So that's pretty nice in itself as well, as people continue to reserve Cybertrucks, then also with the other vehicles as well, with a Plaid Model S. So just take note of that as well. Even if they cancel it in the future, it's technically a free loan until Tesla starts to actually produce the vehicle and charges the full price. So like I said, I honestly think that Tesla will beat expectations with the Q3 earnings report, and honestly I think it's going to be pretty similar to what we saw like back in July with the earnings report, them beating expectations. But just to emphasize once again, my personal prediction would be that we see, at least as we start to get a little bit closer to this October 21st date, we could see a little bit of a run up in the share price for Tesla. Now of course everything is fair game after the actual earnings report. Of course my prediction is that it's going to be positive news, they're going to beat expectations, and it's going to be good news for Tesla investors. However, I can't guarantee how the market or a lot of investors will react to that. So what I'm saying basically is that I think there will be a run up in terms of a share price before this date of October 21st, maybe even on the date of October 21st, but I can't really promise what the direction the stock will go in once that news is announced. However, I will say, if somehow, which I don't believe this is the case, if somehow Tesla doesn't meet expectations and there is a huge sell-off, then that would present itself a really good buying opportunity. Honestly, I would love to have a buying opportunity. I mean, at this point in time, I don't have much cash on the sidelines, but by the 21st, I should have some cash on the sidelines to be able to use for Tesla stock. So if that's the case, then I honestly wouldn't mind picking up a bunch of shares at a really nice discount. But I honestly think Tesla is going to beat expectations, especially with everything that they've overcome this year so far. It honestly just seems inevitable at this point for them to continue beating expectations. But basically, in my opinion, anytime that I see a notable red day for Tesla, I'm talking about a significant red day where there's a notable discount, I will likely be taking advantage of that if I can, if I have some cash on the sidelines. At least from what I've seen with this stock and my experience with holding it so far, those are the days where investors can really pick up on a nice discount. So honestly, I don't mind where the stock goes in the short term. That just means that if it does go down in the red, then I get to pick it up on sale. But if not, then I'm happy about a green day any day. So with that being said, I honestly expect good news for the Q3 earnings report. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with like the rest of this week and stuff like that, but as I stated, as we start to get a little bit closer to the Q3 earnings report, then I think we could possibly see a build up in Tesla's share price, maybe a little bit. So anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600. And to get that, all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks, and it also helps support the channel as well, in which I'll get some free stocks. But anyways, just want to let y'all know about that. But hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.